special addition I want to make here. I don't know if you can hear that. My beard is finally long enough to make some weird microphone sounds, so let me know if you find those annoying or if they're fantastic. But, okay, so back to the video. As many of you are probably aware, there is a trucker convoy in Canada happening right now. Well, I'm a bit late to the party, but, well, I knew it was happening, but I'm a bit late to the party on making a video about it. And to be honest, I actually sat down just now and I intended to record a video about Rome in Italy because that was next on my list of requests. However, I want to slide this other city into the mix. It's a city I've wanted to do anyway for a while now because I've lived there, and in fact I lived near where the protest is happening, but we'll get more to that later. Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. So, I try not to be too political on this channel, but I'm going to just describe what's happening and the situation here in Canada before we dig too deep into the city. In fact, I don't even know if we're going to look at the Wikipedia page for the city. We might, but first, I'll just give you a rundown. So, here in Canada, a trucker convoy started right here. I believe it was here, or potentially somewhere in here, at Nordell Way, which is this road right here. I think it probably started here because it's a big open space at the foot of the beautiful Alex Fraser Bridge. It's not that beautiful, it's pretty standard, but you know, that's the Alex Fraser Bridge, and the convoy started here. Now, why is there a trucker convoy? Well, as you might have heard, Canada recently imposed restrictions on unvaccinated Canadian truckers wanting to cross or seeking to cross the U.S. border. They no longer can, according to this mandate. And the federal government in Canada is responsible for federal matters, and that includes national defense, that includes air travel, that includes train travel on CPCN tracks, which would be, I guess, the passenger service here in Canada is called Via Rail. And what else? Oh yes, and borders. So the federal government is also in charge of borders. So to put in a mandate. They already have a vaccine mandate for air travel and train travel. So you cannot fly across the country unless you are vaccinated, and you cannot take a train across the country or anywhere in the country except public transportation trains unless you are fully vaccinated. Now you cannot cross the border as a trucker unless you are fully vaccinated, which about 90% of the truckers in Canada are, apparently. So this protest started earlier in January, when that was announced, and so many people believe that this protest is about the border mandate, but it has grown very much so to encompass all vaccine mandates, and some might say all restrictions. I think just to be as accurate as possible, I think it has grown to be about vaccine mandates specifically, but COVID restrictions are a huge hot issue here in Canada. So it started here, and so I bet you they went up this way and then over this way, and there was quite the send-off, and a lot of people were gathering at all of these overpasses throughout here, Vancouver area. And this mandate, or this convoy, passed through the mountains, probably up through Kamloops here, and over out this way. This is Calgary right here, and this is Edmonton. Now I'm not sure if the convoy passed through both of these cities, but it might have. I think it did, but if it didn't, then the convoy was going along here. I don't know if you can see my cursor. I hope you can. And it gathered more trucks. Okay, so by the time, and here, let's turn on the borders and labels for a second. So by the time the convoy had gotten to Regina, which is the capital of this province called Saskatchewan, by the time it had gotten to Regina, it was about, I think they were saying it was like 50,000 trucks were already part of this trucker convoy. And then of course there were personal vehicles as well, lots of cars. And at this point I was thinking, oh God, they might shut down the only road in Canada that connects Eastern Canada to Western Canada, which is this road right here between Thunder Bay and Nipigon, or Nippigan. I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce that. But there's one road, it's 2 lanes, and there is a single bridge. I think this might be it right here. Right here. This 2-lane bridge is the only link between Eastern Canada on this side and Western Canada on this side. There are absolutely no roads that go through Northern Ontario and connect to Manitoba, which in my mind that's absolutely insane, but whatever, Canada be Canada. So I was kind of worried that something might happen there, and it looks like all the trucks got through successfully anyway. But was. I haven't been following the details, but it's a lot of trucks. It is a lot of trucks that came through. And I'm not sure if they went straight to Ottawa or if they passed through Toronto, but I know a lot of trucks came from this area as well. And many, 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 many trucks came from Quebec. Quebec has had some of the harshest restrictions. They are the only province that has put in curfews in place. I remember I was in Ottawa back in the spring, and I accidentally walked across one of these bridges. I think it was this one. This bridge right here. This bridge. Oh, I think I need to turn on borders and loop. Yeah. There we go. This bridge right here, I think. And yeah, so I walked across it, and I was in Quebec, and I was like, where are all the people? Because this is downtown Gatineau, and yeah, it turned out that nobody was out because there was a curfew. It was like 8 p.m. or something. I realized I was actually breaking curfew, so I immediately walked back across the bridge because I didn't really want any trouble at the time. But yeah, so Quebec, our capital city here, Ottawa, and I'll get into some details about the city in a sec, but our capital city rests right on the border between Quebec to the north and Ontario in the south, and you can see this is the border line here, and it's along the Ottawa River. And I think they did that on purpose. I don't quite know the history, but obviously Montreal and Toronto are the two biggest cities in Canada, and Ottawa, I think it was purpose-built to be a capital on the border between the two dominant populations. One was dominantly French and one was dominantly English. And so, of course, the English were a bit more dominant, so they got the main city, and the French got Gatineau and Hull. But the whole area is, I think the whole area is Ottawa, really. And it all just functions as one large city. So let's turn those borders back off because they're annoying. Okay, so trucks came in from all over Canada. There were some from the east, some from mostly from the west, because there's so much more going on over here than there is over here. But many from Quebec, many from Ontario, and many from British Columbia and Alberta. And they descended upon the capital, and they arrived on Saturday, January 29th. And they had a freedom party. So I'm going to show you some pictures after I give you a little bit of a look into what Ottawa, the way Ottawa is laid out. So let's start with the outskirts here. So you've got the main highway. Right here. There's a couple of them. There's this one right here, and there's this one right here. And this is Canada, which is a suburb of Ottawa. I've biked there before, and I don't know what this area is, but it's another suburb. But the city here, these are the city limits right here. And this is where most of the truckers are coming in, along this road and along this perimeter road here that runs along the river. This is John A. Macdonald Way, I believe. And large intersection here, which is like the gateway to downtown. So many trucks are coming in this way. Many trucks, I imagine, are coming off the highway. And then, of course, the trucks from Quebec are coming in largely on these spaghetti highways, and they're entering this way. And I imagine some are coming in this way as well. So, and then probably some from this side. So they're really coming in from every angle. And this street right here, this street is called Wellington. Okay, now this is Parliament, and it fronts right onto Wellington Street. You've got the East Block and the West Block, and you've got, I think, yeah, this is the Supreme Court right here, and then some other buildings. I'm not quite sure what they all are. You've got the Bank of Canada, a lot of government offices, a lot of government buildings. But this is Wellington. It is the main drag right in front of Parliament. And Wellington turns into Rideau Avenue right here. Okay, there's Rideau Center, and there's also a subway station, Rideau Station here. But Rideau is a main drag for nightlife, I would say. This area here, just on the other side of the canal, is called Byward Market. And then this here is downtown, which is across from Parliament. So this is really the central area with two main districts. Now, if you come down Wellington and you turn left onto, I can't remember the name. Roads. What is it? Oh, I thought this one was Sussex. Okay, this one's Mackenzie. Okay, so this is Sussex. Okay, perfect. So I thought this one was Sussex. Anyway, so you turn left onto Sussex Drive. This is the U.S. Embassy, by the way. This and the National Art Gallery there, or National Gallery. This is Sussex Drive, and if you follow this for about, I don't know, maybe a 40-minute walk, to 5-minute drive, you will end up at the Prime Minister's house. Let me just check my Wi-Fi here, make sure it's all good. Yeah, good. So this here is the Prime Minister's house at Sussex Drive here. And if you ever come here, you can't actually see the house, unfortunately, because there's so many trees in the way. But it is quite the location right next to the river. But anyway, so you've got what is this, Rideau Hall? I think this is called Rideau Hall, where the Queen stays when she visits Canada. But yeah, so that's the Prime Minister's house. So what I imagine is happening, but I don't see a lot of pictures of it. I think there's probably a lot of trucks here, but I haven't seen pictures of it, so I'm not sure. But most of the footage that I have seen is from Wellington and the surrounding blocks in the downtown core, and it is absolutely insane. The media is not giving the full picture of what's going on. So there are thousands of trucks, and they are just blocking all of the roads in protest of the vaccine mandates all over Canada. And there's a dance party like every night happening right in front of Parliament, and there's thousands of people. I think it was projected to be so the population of Ottawa is about 1.5 million, and they expected 1.5 million people to come into the city. Oh man, I don't know if they actually got that number, but there's a freedom party happening. Thousands of people, thousands of Canadian flags, and the raw footage coming out of here it's just beautiful. There's just so much love in the air, and national pride, and a celebration of freedom. And there's free food. There's people cooking food outside. There's people like walking around cleaning up trash. There's like it's an extremely peaceful protest, and they have dance parties. And so what's happened? Like, okay, maybe I think now's the right time to look at some pictures, just to give some context. So I just did a bit of a search, just Freedom Convoy in the Brave browser, and here's some pictures of what's happening. It's like -20, -30. I don't know if it's -30, but it's really cold outside, and there's a massive amount of people in Ottawa. And Trudeau, our Prime Minister, has run away. He's moved to an undisclosed location, which I find hilarious. And there's signs galore. Look at his face. He looks scared. And, okay, here's another one. And of course, Elon is involved too. He tweeted, "Canadian truckers rule," which was quite comical. Here's another picture I've seen a lot of right here. A lot of Canadian flags and a lot of support on the side of the road. What if I add Ottawa here? What do I get? Or, okay, so this is a good one. So this is Wellington, as I was showing you earlier, with Parliament on the right. Downtown is on the left, and this is the party, the protest. A lot of these photos are not quite. Okay, this is what a lot of the overpasses looked like. So this is in Vancouver. This is at the very beginning of the convoy, when a lot of people hadn't even heard of it yet. I actually hadn't heard of it until the day before this happened, so I was quite late to the party. But it was a very foggy morning, and I believe this is in Abbotsford or Langley, where people gathered on the overpasses to send off the truckers. People clearly don't want communism, which is great. But yeah, here's another one. Yeah, okay. So, essentially, it's a massive freedom rally in Ottawa. Let me just do one more search here. pages. Maybe I will cut in some screenshots from some videos that I have seen, and I'll use this space here to do it. And then yeah. Okay, so that's yeah, I guess next I want to talk about the fundraiser. So Tamara Litch and BJ Ditcher are organizing this fundraiser. So it's called Freedom Convoy 2022. It's raised at this point almost 10 million, which is their goal, but I'm sure they're going to get a lot more. You can see Anonymous donated 30,000. Like, let's look at these donations. Okay, well, just for the record, that's not me. I don't know what that's all about. But yeah, so we got some small donations, and more donations keep coming in. There's 2,000. I saw 30,000 right here from Anonymous. But yeah, there's a lot of donations on their GoFundMe. But yeah, so almost 10 million, very close to 10 million. Let's refresh this. Okay, yeah, we're getting closer. And so yeah, I think a lot of people are fed up and they just want they just want these restrictions gone. And it's a love fest happening in Ottawa. Here's another picture. Let's let it load for a second here. Yeah, okay. So there it is. There's a wall around Parliament, but don't be fooled. I saw some conspiracy stuff about how that's like a wall to protect Parliament, but it's not. It's just a construction site, so don't pay attention to that. But there's a total party here, and then they raise the Canadian flag with a big boom. And there's another overpass right here. Looks like it's in Vancouver as well. Yeah. Oh, it's in the Okanagan. Okay, you got a lot of support and a lot of negative signs about Trudeau as well, in addition to the national pride. And then here's another photo from Ottawa. And many trucks are stuck outside the city. But yeah, so if you read the Wikipedia page, it's just kind of blah. It doesn't really do it much justice. I don't recommend coming here. But yeah, okay, so they've raised almost 10 million. At one point there was a bit of a controversy because, well, at least I was told that the federal government was really pressuring GoFundMe to label the campaign as a terrorist organization. Like, the whole convoy is a terrorist organization, but I don't think GoFundMe ever did that. In fact, I know they didn't do it, and I can't actually confirm if that was actually happening, but at some point GoFundMe held funds because it was unclear where the funds were going to go. However, the organizers of the event say that GoFundMe was working with them, and they were working together very collaboratively to determine all of this and where the money would go. But they've already released $1 million, I believe. As of this time, they've released $1 million to the organizers. So, yeah, let's go back to the map here. Okay, so let's so you got Wellington is completely streets. Like, I know Kent, I think this is Kent right here, is completely packed. Queen is packed. And they're just blaring their horns non-stop in downtown, and the sound is going everywhere. But there are still thousands of trucks being blocked, I think, at this intersection probably. And they're all parked along this road here for miles and miles and miles. Because they're not allowed into the city. The city of Ottawa is trying to get rid of them all. Yeah, I'm not quite sure why, but they are. And there's a lot of trucks at border crossings all over, because like there were tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of trucks coming from the U.S. to come to Ottawa, and if they can't make it, then they just don't cross. And then they stack up at the border, and there's a lot of blockages, especially at the Alberta border, which is in Western Canada, right around here. So there's a lot of border crossings that are blocked now, and yeah, the city of Ottawa is just completely like, I wish I was there right now just to experience it, because from what I've heard and seen in video form, it is just a party, a freedom party. Now, of course, this could still devolve into chaos. I have no idea, because sometimes these protests, as they start to lose steam, then they devolve into chaos. But you know what else is happening here? I think that there are paid provocateurs in the audience or in the protest that are trying to incite a lot of violence and hatred, which I think that that's terrible. But from the videos I've seen, the content I've seen, the protesters they're so Canadian. They're just like very nice. Well, they're basically telling these guys to shove off, relatively politely, because they're not welcome. No hateful signs, symbols, or verbiage is being tolerated by this protest. Now, that could change. I'm not sure. But as of now, it is just a party, and I've seen videos and photos of the trucks being lined up all the way down Rideau. And, you know, I've never felt more proud to be Canadian than right now. And it's very, very exciting. So, yeah, when I lived here in Ottawa, I lived downtown, and I don't care about the horns. I wish I still lived there just to experience everything. But yeah, what else is cool about Ottawa? It's quite small. There's not a lot going on, but there's this canal which freezes over in the winter. And yeah, I used to bike around here. You've got Old Ottawa South, Old Ottawa East, the Glebe. This is the Glebe right here. And then Nepean, I think, is over here. I'm not quite sure how to pronounce that. And then, of course, you have the Ottawa Airport, which is quite small, but it's quite beautiful. When I was in there, it's quite nice. Yeah, and then, of course, the industrial areas. But one really nice thing about Ottawa is that there's so much green space along the waterfronts, because there's no industrial anything really happening in Ottawa. It's all government workers, it's all government contractors, truckers and just people who support all of that. So there's no real industry in this city. And so there's a lot of green space. You can just see every river has parks along it and trails that you can bike along or walk along. And yeah, I used to do that a lot. I really enjoyed it there. And then of course you have Carleton University right here, which is it's pretty big. It's not huge. It's not like UBC, U of T, or McGill. And then right over here you have U Ottawa, University of Ottawa, with a station at it, subway station. And this is the defense building for the military. And yeah, I'm just kind of excited, so I don't know where to go next, but you have the Fairmont as well, right here. And these hotels, they were built all over Canada, and Fairmont, I think, runs all of them now. And they were built next to the train stations because rich people could travel by train. That was like really, really high-end travel at that time, and they would stay in these really bougie, fancy hotels, and so they built them all over Canada right next to the main train stations. And this, I believe, was the main train station in Ottawa, which no longer is. But yeah, you have the National Gallery here. Yeah. And then, what else? What else is cool? There's actually quite a bit of cool stuff. You got the Holocaust Memorial right here. It's a star from the top, and yeah, I've walked through there. It's kind of ominous, but anyway. How long have I been going here? It's been about 40 minutes, I think. We might have some time to check out some more things. Yes, this is kind of farmer's market area, like it's kind of like a convention area, and sports stadium in the glebe here. A lot of new condo buildings and lots of retail is here. Yeah, it's an old heritage building. Remember going to a farmer's market there. Yeah. One thing I noticed in Ottawa was just the quality of the infrastructure was quite high compared to out west where I live now. But yeah, it's just, I guess it's the capital, so they put a lot of money into it. But overall, this city's quite small and it's largely suburban. But yeah, the whole truckers convoy it really excites me, and I hope it doesn't evolve into some sort of negative thing. But from what I've seen, it's being smeared in the media as a negative event, and it's very, very unfortunate. I look at the nightly news, and it is completely like I watch the raw footage, like 10-minute video here, an hour-long video here, a lot of drone footage of what's happening from above, and it's just love. There's so much love in the air and national pride in a good way, and it's just freedom-loving people wanting to get back to normal, and I appreciate that. And I know many people I've been fooled by the mainstream press and what they're portraying it as, and they're portraying it as like some white supremacist movement or something, which is absolute just bullshit. Like it's not that. So yeah, I'd kill to be in Ottawa right now, to be honest. I wish I was there. And I implore anybody who's curious about what's happening in Canada right now, make sure that when you look for information on this, try not to get it from the mainstream press, because they're not covering it adequately, and I believe many of my viewers understand that. A bit more of the beard on the mic. But yeah, I believe that everybody, or many people, we're smart enough to see through the mainstream lens, or see around it, so to speak. If you just have an internet connection, it's easy to find the real footage on YouTube or whatever. So yeah, I encourage you to do that if you're interested, and I hope this wasn't too exciting. I hope it was relaxing. I think I'm gonna wrap it up now. And yeah, I'm gonna keep following this and just see how it plays out, but I'm hoping it stays peaceful, because I know it's possible for it to go bad, but from the messages I've seen, it's been the messages in the videos and just the commentary I've seen, it's just been very positive. And people are coming in from all over the country to support it. I think it's only a matter of time before something happens. I know in Saskatchewan, the premier has flipped, and he's taking away the restrictions. The vaccine passport is going away in Saskatchewan. I know it's already gone in the UK. Japan never even had it. Most of the US doesn't have it either. And British Columbia, I think there's some hints of the vaccine pass going, and Alberta as well. Montreal was about to charge a tax on every unvaccinated citizen, which is obscene. They were basically going to fine people for not being vaccinated. But they've walked back on that since, and so I think that, there's a lot of people that are waking up and seeing just how much of an infringement of their civil liberties these mandates have been, and these vaccine passports have been. So yeah, I do want to clarify, though, I'm definitely not opposed to vaccination at all, even a little bit. I think that but I do believe people should have the choice. So yeah, in case that wasn't already clear. But yeah, I'm just very excited for Canada, and I've never felt more national pride than I have in this past week. And I'm very, very excited to just see all the provinces just fall like dominoes, if that's going to happen. But our Prime Minister has fled to an undisclosed location, so, and he's fighting it. You should see his Twitter and his just like what he's saying in the House of Commons. I also encourage you to look that up and just see the mental gymnastics that are taking place in the House of Commons and in the media, and just see for yourself. Like, look at the raw footage and then compare it to the coverage, and you'll see what I'm saying. I might come back to this city, to Ottawa, again and explore it a little bit more in depth without the political commentary. But today I thought it was important to share what you're not going to hear on the international or mainstream media. I know a couple people outside Canada that just have no idea what's going on, so they're thankful that I've shared this with them, and I hope you are too, and I hope you found it relaxing, and I hope you have a good rest of your night, or your day, or wherever you happen to be, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.